out below. Dive. Markets are crashing. Oh, guess what? Markets are up. Oh, man. Good morning. Time for Money Info, brought to you by Princeton Research with Mike King in Las Vegas, Charles Moskowitz in Boston. And Charles, a very pleasant good morning to you guys.
Yeah, it's
Good
really
morning.
heated up.
Hey,
really
Michael.
Heated up here.
Dave Rogers is going to call in to tell us that we were number 4 on Google as, I don't know, investment quality or something. He'll tell you.
Hey, that sounds good. That
We
sounds.
aims to please.
There you go. Yeah, well, and very easy to get to the Princeton Research site. It's Princeton, spelled like the college, although not affiliated with the college, research.com. It's very simple. Hey, I know Mike King and Charles, both of you have smartphones, and the big story on CNBC this morning is that the global smartphone shipments were 1 billion, with a B, units for the first time in 2013. Now, smartphones made up of 55% of all mobile shipments. And what's very interesting, at least I thought, is that Samsung is now up to 31% of the phones, and Apple fell from 16.7% to 15.3%. Now, that's not all that big, but it shows that Samsung is doing okay in the smartphone
Oh, absolutely.
business.
They have a fantastic product.
The difference, Greg, is that Apple has unbelievable margins in theirs.
They've also got a beautiful woman in Siri. Oh.
Oh, you've had a look at her? I just listened to her voice.
I know. What a voice, huh? Is that amazing or what? Yeah, well, you know, it's everybody seems to be freaking over Apple now.
Well, it's down $45.
Yeah, but
At 505 and change.
I
But
was going to say.
they beat both top and bottom line.
I think
You know, the funny thing about this is, and it's, you know, not exactly ha-ha funny, but it is strange. Apple puts out no guidance, really. I mean, they have a conference call and they give you their outlook for the coming quarter or the year.
Okay.
What they don't put out are any of these numbers. So some of these idiots on Wall Street are coming across with, you know, we expect this and we expect that. I mean, they might as well be pulling them out of the air because they bear no reality whatsoever to anything that Apple has said, publicly or privately. And so 51 million iPhones sold, quote, the street was looking for 53 million. So the stock is down 8%.
Oh, man.
With increased earnings and increased revenues.
Yeah?
So it's kind of a strange situation.
Wow.
But I will say this for the market. For a very long time, Apple being down 44 would not allow for a market up 90.
Yeah.
It would normally carry over. The only place this is carrying over is into some of the parts suppliers.
Well, but I want to say this, that the earnings were fantastic this morning. I mean, just great earnings.
And yesterday. How about Caterpillar?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I noticed that yesterday.
But let me just go over a small list to tell you. I mean, you've got top-line beats and bottom-line beats. Corning, GLW, had a wonderful beat, top and bottom line. D.R. Horton, you know, despite the bad news yesterday, D.R. Horton beat real big time. DuPont had very good bottom line. Stocks like Illinois Tool, ITW, big time beat.
Uh-huh.
Even Lexmark, big time beat. You've got just a host of tremendous earnings. Oshkosh Trucking, OSK, Imagine they earned 62 cents versus 33, and the top line was 1530 million versus 1463. Big time beat.
Okay. Interesting.
Even Pfizer beat.
Huh. Okay.
And the issue here, Greg, is the fact that I've been bellyaching a lot, certainly in the area of retailers, that the quality of the earnings has been poor. You can only lay off so many workers before you become Sears, and you can't find somebody to help you, if you were on fire. But in these companies, in some of these, strong, old line industrial or manufacturing companies, these top line beats, make the way for substantially better quality earnings. And so, that's one of the big changes, as Mike is saying about these companies. I mean, look at who these companies are. Corning, Glassworks.
Sure.
They make Gorilla Glass, so they're, definitely linked to, all of the tablets, smartphones, etc., because it's their glass.
Well, it's weird though, and both of you have said how strange this market can be. The Commerce Department, according to Fox Business this morning, says long-lasting goods fell 4.3% in December.
Let's welcome Dave Rogers.
Hi, Mike. Hello, Charles.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Dave. How you doing?
Good.
Welcome.
Mike wanted me to come on the air and talk a little bit about the increasing traffic for the website, PrincetonResearch.com, and getting more people involved in the sample trade alerts. We're offering free sample trade alerts to anybody who goes to the site. Go to the site over on the right. You'll see the free trade alerts, and click here to learn more. Click on there. There's a form to fill out. Just fill out your name, email address. Confirm it. We'll send you a message to your inbox. You confirm it, and you're on the list. You'll get free sample trade alerts as well as the Market Strategies newsletter. We'll send that out every Monday morning to you. We'll send out a sample issue to you so you can get an idea of some of the trades Charles has been doing and some of the things we've been doing to get over 284% returns in 2013 and over 171% returns in 2012.
Yeah, it has been totally remarkable. And, of course, Charles has been going absolutely bonkers in his trades, especially the last couple of years. It's been absolutely amazing. Well, the ease of the website is what I've always enjoyed. And it really is. It's at PrincetonResearch.com. It's real simple. Just go there. So now we can look for sample trades in the lower right-hand corner, huh?
The upper right-hand corner.
Upper right-hand corner, okay.
Also, I want to add a little something to that, and Dave, I don't even know if you know about this yet, but I have a secondary site called dashover.com, DASHOVER.com. And what I put on Dashover is up-to-the-minute portfolio, executions, as well as a prospective list of stocks that we're watching, and that site is always up and running. I just added 300 shares of Alcoa to the 500 share position that we have, averaging it up a little, and that's already listed there. So, if you want to see absolutely everything up to the minute versus week over week over week, that's where you go.
Well, there should be a link on the Princeton site then for that. Dashover.com. Charles, you've never mentioned that. Huh.
I know.
Wow. Okay, so that's something even
That's
newer,
new.
huh?
Yep.
Very cool. Very cool. So this is in addition to the text service.
Right.
And the calls.
Well, this is where all those things go.
There you go.
I mean, as soon as I put out a text and we get an execution, it goes right on the screen.
Perfect. Good stuff. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, you guys are making news today. Well,
Yeah, well, it's frustrating. We've had such super returns, and we just kind of get lost in there with the Motley Fool and Seeking Alpha and all the other big guys. We kind of get pushed out. So we're trying to, we're working this year on getting the word out and making sure people know that we've got a super service which has been doing, producing phenomenal returns. The other thing Mike wanted me to mention was that we put up a video yesterday on the Market Strategies newsletter. If you type in "Where to Invest," February 2014 into Google, we're number 4 there. It links to a YouTube video. We have a YouTube channel we set up to post videos. The YouTube channel is youtube.com/where-to-invest. And like I said, if you type the shows are up there too. We post replays of all the shows on the PrincetonResearch.com site. And the other thing we wanted to mention was back in Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, Mike, we posted something on how Mike had gone to Martin Luther King Jr.'s last birthday party, and he had worked down in Alabama. He's one of the first people to hire black female workers in a factory down in, it was Alabama, right, Mike?
Oh, yes, in Alabama and Georgia, we had 4 factories. And even Sergeant Shriver came down from Washington. And it was, this was Teledyne sponsored. I was working for Teledyne. We had sold our family business to Teledyne. And they sponsored it, and we hired at least 1,000 people in 4 factories. They had never worked before, and they were good. They were black females who were able to really sew. They weren't bad at all.
So what was the business, Mike?
Blouses. We made blouses.
Okay.
And it went very well as long as.
Yeah, back when they did textile manufacturing in the U.S.
Yeah. Yeah, really. Gee, remember when, right? Wow.
Well, I grew up in the men's clothing business, and we manufactured in the U.S., and it was just, it was tough.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Charles, when did you get out of that? Man, what a show today. I didn't realize either one of you were have that background.
Yeah.
So, Charles,
Well,
when
it
were
was
you
a family business,
Okay.
and so it was.
It was up in New England, Charles?
It was in New York.
Wow.
New York, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right on Fifth Avenue. I remember 104 Fifth Avenue, and about 17th Street. Yeah, men's clothing.
Amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
This
But
is
that,
amazing.
it's amazing how quickly that fell by the wayside once, manufacturing was outside the U.S.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, it fell off rapidly. I remember even when, we had, when Carol and I had moved from San Diego back to New England, and, of course, LL Bean was tooting its horn that it was all U.S.-made stuff. But they were one of the last ones, it seemed like. And that was back in 1980. So, yeah, know exactly where you guys are coming from. Wow. That's amazing. Well, tell us more about the website, Mr. Rogers.
Well, we've been doing, like I said, we're doing some more search engine work. We posted the information on Mike Balanced Investing Strategies news site directory members Martin Luther King Jr. We posted that information on the site, and then we put out a press release through PR Log. That had a top ranking last week when we put it out, and then that fell off because it's news. But then at the same time, our site picked up the number 2 spot on Balanced Investing Strategies News. If you were to type that into Google, you'd see that's number 2 there. And that has the link to the site on Mike King and his affiliation with Martin Luther King Jr. and going to his last birthday. And so we're going to continue working on that as far as getting top search engine rankings for anything related to options trading, stock options trading, where to invest, balanced investing. We have a whole set of keywords we're targeting. We're going to use the YouTube channel as well as the site and free press releases to get the news out so people become more aware of the winning trade service we have.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. It really does. Charles, tell us a little bit about some of what you've got going. In your
Well, we have a. If you've looked at the letter, you'll see that we had I'm very bullish on Alcoa for a number of fundamental reasons, which is something that I usually don't deal with. But the move, the tremendous value of what's gone on with Boeing, and now Ford introducing a truck that is made from aluminum that
Yep.
makes it literally 700 pounds lighter, which has got to help fuel efficiency. I mean, I think that this company is going through kind of a renaissance of demand for their product after being kind of an also-ran for a while. The other thing is that it was taken out of the Dow, and with the exception of the companies that go out of business, like, for example, Kodak, when companies are taken out of the Dow, very often they dramatically outperform the rest of the market. And the best example of that, besides the Alcoa, which was an $8 stock, is Bank of America, which came out. They manipulate the Dow to have higher price stocks in it because it's price weighted. So a 20% move in a company like Alcoa, which is $1.60, would only have produced, maybe 26 or 28 points in the Dow, where a $2 move on a $100 stock produces a $10 move in it. And $100 stocks move $2 every day, range-wise, for the most part. And so, them not being involved, has actually helped a lot of these smaller stocks. So we just added to the Alcoa position. I think we paid $10.06 for it 2 or 3 weeks ago and bought calls that we only paid 35 cents for. Unfortunately, we had to give those up on the 100% rule, half of it, at 70 cents, and we got, I think, $1.15 or $1.18 for the balance of them. Now we're in the next month's series, and instead of having a 500 share position, as I said, we've averaged up here at 1179 and added 300 more, so we have an 800 share position. I think that this stock, based on both the technicals and the fundamentals, can easily be $16 to $18.
Wow.
Which is a pretty substantial move for
an
$11 stock, or when we started, a $10 stock.
Sure.
Well, we're also in a company called Raptor, RPTP. It's a biotech company, which is a group that's been very hot. That and Celdex, CLDX. The group has been very, very hot. As we've discussed here, one of the major themes for some of these smaller stocks are to have big-name partners who have trouble building a pipeline of new drugs. And so, a lot of these things with the big partners don't need to go to the market, so they're not dramatically diluting. If you think about it, 5 or 10 years ago, there were literally hundreds and hundreds of these stocks that were $2 and $3 and $5 that were constantly in the market raising money and diluting and diluting and diluting. Now these companies, as well as we were in Insmed for a while and a couple of other notables, these guys have second or third level clinical trials going on. They have big partners like Amgen and Biogen IDEC, really the big Genentech, the big name companies. So they're not diluting. They're in these trials, and they have a success, and all of a sudden they disappear because Pfizer or an Amgen or some of the other partners just immediately turn around and buy them.
Sure.
Because the R&D is already taken place.
Sure. Hey, let somebody else do the R&D. Yeah.
Right. I also want to mention something. There's a very hot area right now in biotech. They were talking about it. They mentioned this little company, Celdex, which, by the way, we're in the $25, $26 area. We traded this stock from 5 to 15 last year.
Wow.
But the group that they were talking about that included Celdex also includes Bristol Myers and another one of the biggies. I'm trying to remember exactly who it was. Bristol Myers and maybe Merck. And this is something that Mike is very well aware of, and that is that the new area of focus for a lot of these are building your own immune system, jump-starting your own immune system to attack the problems. And I know that Mike and Casey have discussed this many, many times as to what the value of some of these things that, Mike has found in, in the Far East that have helped so dramatically. So this is a very, very big area. They call it immunogen therapy, which is basically, using your own immune system to attack these things.
Well, if you go back, and of course I've covered a couple Olympics, and you go all the way back to, where we were in Los Angeles in '84, blood packing was, in
right.
81, 82 was a very big thing in Colorado Springs, at the U.S. Olympic headquarters. So, yeah, and that's absolutely amazing that now you look all these years later that it's there.
Hajj?
Wow.
Let's welcome Ghazi Hajj joining us right now.
Hey,
I'm
Ghazi.
going to leave us.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm going to be leaving. Great.
Okay, Mike.
Thank you.
Okay, Mike. Have a good one. Yeah, Mike, just speaking of medical, just had some procedures himself. So he's back, and he's off the disabled list, and so back with Charles and myself.
He's still on injured reserve.
Well, that's all right. that's okay. It's he's got we'll say a walking boot on right now, but he'll be at full.
That's right.
Yeah, he'll be at 100%.
So Ghazi, what's new with GRILLiT?
Well, we have, as always mentioned previously, that our focus is on the core business. So I'm sure you've seen the news that we acquire, the ranch, the 100% organic distribution right for the organic beef, and we're pretty excited. We're going to roll out the new menu February 3rd, this Monday, coming up Monday.
All right.
So we have been actually talking to our customers. They're all pretty excited, and really they like where we at. So definitely we're establishing ourselves into the premium fast casual segment. So that's really what's happening right now. So with the menu, and of course Dr. Paul Aun, our senior advisor, is working very, very hard to put together the nutritional facts, as well as a calorie count for all our meal. And I believe we are sitting very, very pretty with probably 80-90% of our menu will be well below 600 calories.
Wow.
So we are, basically on the store level. That's what we've done. And I don't know if I've mentioned this in the past. We went back, evaluate, analyze our business, Charles. And we decided to invest heavily back into the restaurant. So during Christmas holiday, we upgraded our hood. We fixed our line, basically the service line, where to expedite the service and create a better, atmosphere for our customer. So with that in mind, what had helped us is to increase the speed of service. We went below 2 minutes and 30 seconds per customer to within close to 2 minutes. What that means is we can service more customers in a short time period, lunchtime between 11:30 and 1:30, and that generates more revenue and generate more sales, which is, we have seen that in January, that our lunch sales been increasing since we did the remodeling or did the final touches on the line. So our focus has been on create really the existing concept as, or set the existing concept as, as a model to duplicate and move forward. So these are,
and it's great that you can serve them that quickly, but the fact of the matter is that people are always pressed for time. I mean, except for the C-suite guys, management, nobody gets an hour. People get, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and so that's a pretty major issue, especially for the lunchtime crowd.
Agree. Statistically speaking, the people who work in, traditionally in the offices, they'll say have between 28 to 29 minutes.
Yeah.
And
and they have to get there.
They have to get there, of course, and eat. So basically, the rule of thumb is you have 20 customers in line. It usually take about 12 minutes. We can serve 20 people plus within under 8 minutes, between 8 to 9 minutes. So that means the customer will have more time to sit down and enjoy a great meal, and that's the reason why we create the service. The service timing is to give the customer more time to enjoy the meal, and of course have a chance to chat with his friends or whatever.
All we have to do is really put one of these in every business park.
We're actually looking at a major downtown, and we feel our business is really we learn every day. Even though I've been in the restaurant business for 30 years, it's continuous education on an everyday basis. Your customers tell you what you need to do, and so we're getting really a lot of good information. And again, we're setting ourselves into like a premium fast casual segment, the health aspect, and we are supporting it with the new menu with all nutritional facts, which will be again announced hopefully by end of February. So those are really the major things that happened the last couple of weeks on the storefront, or at least on a restaurant front. And so, we're excited. We're looking to probably acquire more opportunity in the distribution part of it or other things, so to create more value for our shareholders. So that's where we're looking to decide increase sale, increase our hopefully margins, and definitely that will help us to sell more franchise. And of course, that's where the value of creating the model in our location in Miami.
Ghazi, tell us about, what real competition do you have that's organic, that is gluten-free, and no MSG? Is there anyone out there doing what you do that is just like that?
No. A lot of people, nobody have dedicated that much real estate per se and time to do this.
Yeah.
A lot of fast casual have a portion of their menu, have 10, 15, 20%, but we are the only company I know of is into the 100% MSG, no microwave is in the restaurant, all the stuff we have been talking about. As you know, the Panda Express just changed their menu, tried to get back into the healthy portion, get away from soy and all that stuff. So everybody looking at trying to get into the health segment. We are in it. We're practically one of the few companies that we're leading the pack. We're organic beef. We're introducing organic beef that's going to set us apart and allow us to charge a little bit higher price than the regular fast casual, and I believe our customer will pay to get organic stuff, to get healthy food, and that will help us, increase our ticket average. So that's really what you look for, is just promote the health aspect that allow you to charge a bit more than the guy down the street, not necessarily, dealing with a $5 sub or Wendy's, whatever the case might be. So it allows us to charge a little bit higher price where people can come in, have variety of a great tasting food, and healthy in the same time.
Well, and
Ghazi,
people.
I was in a grocery store over the weekend, and I was noticing that a lot of the organic stuff is actually coming down in price. Are you seeing that same thing on the side of the business where you are purchasing? I mean, are these things coming back into line a little?
Just here recently, with little bit, but you have to be very careful with the organic stuff. There's a lot of stuff out in the market might not be 100%.
Yeah.
So we're really very, very focused on certifying everything we get in our restaurant.
Yeah.
Definitely now there, with the production's demand and so there's more demand, more production, more company are getting into the organic line, the organic segment, and if you look at everything in the organic section, the portion are much smaller than the normal meal. So they'll allow them to reduce the portion but charge higher price. We're at our restaurant, we're not doing that. We're not reducing the portion. Our portion is very, very healthy, very big portion actually, and we're average lunch is up to $8.43, somewhere in there. So $8.43.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, people are not going to mind spending a little extra if they know that they're, I hate to say not eating junk food, but they're not. I mean, if it's organic, an A with no MSG, you won't get a headache. I think that bodes very well for you.
Well, we definitely, we are into that arena. We're very, very unique, and I don't know if you, Chipotle try to do a little bit different things with their beef as well, because the cost is getting too high and they cannot maintain it. So there's a lot of things going on because the fast casual, the health concept are really on the cutting edge, and we feel our company is ranked up there to make sure that we're secure and getting ready to, franchise. Well, our focus, of course, is beside our, existing market, try to increase store count or increase franchise in Kentucky, Atlanta, Tennessee, Ohio, and of course North Carolina. We're focusing on South Florida as well. Our plan is, in the next few weeks, definitely we'll be announcing our corporate plan for 2014. That should be exciting news. We have a lot of great things coming up, and of course, look all our shareholders and everybody else out there to hopefully get a chance to read it when it's released. So again, within a few weeks, we'll announce corporate announcement for our plan for 2014, and really some exciting stuff in the work right now.
Well,
we'll share it with you soon.
Okay. How is let's see, you opened Nashville, right? Or was that
Yes.
on the verge of opening? Okay, it is open now.
Yes.
Okay, how are they doing up there?
They're doing okay. It's just because it's a downtown, so walk-in store is a great location.
Yep.
And, of course, with the weather been like this, kind of tough for people to walk outside. So
Yes.
we have a huge marketing plan ready to roll in mid-February. And we feel that store is an amazing store. We'll get back into where we need to be and very quickly. So that's definitely for the people in Nashville or around that see the store is located on 555 Church Street. It's an amazing location. It's just a matter of the weather had to help us with people walking. There's nobody going to walk around in a snowy weather or to get meals. So everybody brown bagging it or staying. But we're doing okay. And again, we have a huge marketing plan ready to roll out in second week of February.
And that's right by the Humana building downtown, right?
No, the Humana building is in. They have some offices, but Humana is in Louisville.
Oh, that's okay. I'm getting them confused. Okay, I got you. Okay.
The Humana building is downtown Louisville.
Okay. Yeah, well, with the Nashville thing, I mean, you never realized you were in the frozen food business. this weather thing has just gotten so absurd. I mean, we're really having an unusual winter. Of course, Charles is basking. He's out skiing every day and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I have to cross-country ski just to get the mail.
I was gonna say you ski down to your mailbox just to get it, right?
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, that adds another weird question. Seeing that you deal in organics, I mean, how are these local stores going to be able to maintain in strange weather situations like this?
Well, we're very close. We work very close to our franchisee, of course, with a very young company, and we manage on a daily basis. We manage our inventory, work with our distributor. They're being great to work with. So we're managing inventory very, very closely to keep everything fresh, everything up to par, and doing what we need to do. So we're just can't wait till we get into second week of February, get back where we need it to be, and get some exciting things going.
That sounds good. Now, what about your South Florida locations?
The Miami location is doing awesome. As I said earlier, this is the one we are focusing on, and sales been increasing since January, since we did the line. So we're pretty we're pretty well on our way with that location to really set some records. Hopefully, sales record this year, so everybody get benefit from it.
Yeah, I would think that's a
Where's the Miami store
market.
again?
We call it Miami. It's near Miami Airport. They call it the Blue Lagoon Business District, right on Red Road and Northwest 7. And the address is on our website, GRILLitinc.com. So if you go on the website, they'll give you direction, give you phone numbers, and of course any other information you need to read about our company. So that's
I may have to leave here sometime in the next month and go down and check that one out for a week or two, maybe.
Or 4 or 5 or 6.
Yeah, right.
Come on down, Charles. You might as well be a snowbird, just like a bunch of other folks.
These 14-degree days are not fun.
No, they can't be. I mean, I can't even comprehend that. And it's a friend of ours is an anchorman up in Buffalo, and I just think,
God.
and he does the morning show, and it's like, oh my God, I can't even imagine that. Yeah, they're sleeping in the stations because they can't get in. Yeah, oh yeah, I've been there. I mean, we had to do that at ESPN in the very early days too. So yeah, it's not.
That's like the contest prize. What do you win? Well, first prize is a week in Buffalo. Second prize is 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. So
I heard that joke about Cleveland as well. So.
Oh yeah, that's exactly, guys.
Cleveland, the mistake by the lake.
Oh boy.
Well, hey, it's my hometown.
Okay.
Yeah, watch out. He's sensitive there. But Ghazi, where are the attractive markets for GRILLiT in your mind? Where would you like to see this expand out? Sometime in 2014, 2015.
Yeah, right now, I believe we have a commitment from our master franchise to open 5 locations in 2014.
Okay.
One in Tennessee, one in Atlanta, Georgia, 2 in Kentucky, and 1 in Cincinnati, Ohio. So those are on the books and committed for by our master franchise. So,
okay.
If nothing, I'm sure there'll be a lot more activity as soon as I said, the corporate plan will be released in a few weeks. We're going to dedicate some resources to generate more leads and sell more franchise. But our immediate focus in the 5-6 markets I had mentioned, like in Tennessee, Atlanta, Kentucky, Ohio, on Raleigh, North Carolina right now, those are typical. And we're working with a lot of, master franchise and just about everywhere, but of course, nothing, nobody signed yet.
Ghazi, how do you commit with these franchises? Are they done regionally, or are they, when somebody comes to you and says, I love your concept, and I'd like to open 4 of these. Do you give them an exclusive in a specific area, or, I mean, how does that work with the company?
Yeah, right now we sell master franchise, which is like either territory or smaller by 3-store or 5-store. We call them pack of 3 or pack of 5 or 10.
Right.
So we assign an area or a county or geographical area where the people will end up buying that territory and commit to a development schedule. Our goal is between 60,000 to about 100,000, per location population base, and over 10,000 daytime population, basically between 7 to 10,000 daytime population base, worker, where a lot of activity for lunch and supported by residents. So we gotta, we've learned the hard way. We gotta focus and pay attention, do our little more on analyzing every location before
So it's more demographics based.
Yes, everything's demographic based. Yes.
Okay. So somebody comes to you, like Mike comes to you and says, I love the concept and I want Las Vegas, and you make a deal with him, and he agrees to open 6 in Las Vegas or 10 in the greater Las Vegas area. That type of a situation. Is that right?
Yes, that's exactly right. So they commit to, they pay a fee up front, a little bit up front, and they commit to development schedule, which will be agreed on, and then they go, and we will give them all the support. We have, we'll hold their hands, working with, landlord to make sure the leases are reasonable, and work. We have an architect guy we work with will design the restaurant, and of course our graphic company will design the interior of the store, and we have a equipment company in Fort Lauderdale will supply all the equipment and small wares. So we have the franchise model really pretty much from turnkey operation basically. All identified, what equipment we need, what the graphic we need. Everything's done, all the color palettes, everything has been completed, right?
So it's pretty much cookie cutter from your standpoint. You know what you want, and you know what the franchisee is going to be doing. In other words, he's not gonna paint it purple and orange. He's going to do it the way that the company says he's going to do it. Right.
We will design. We'll work either with the architect, or we'll design the store for him through our architect based in again South Florida, and then of course follow the instructions. So our as I said earlier, when I come back to we're focusing on the Miami location, try to get all the pieces together, which is we're right there from the menu, the graphic looks, all that stuff, and generating more sales, so they're even more lucrative for our future franchisee and master franchisee when they see the store and when they see the location. So we're pretty excited where we're at. I think we're doing what we need to do, make sure that we fit in the fast schedule, the premium fast schedule category, to secure that niche, and not a lot of players in that niche. And I think we feel pretty good about it right now.
You should. You really should. You should. And did you mention when you said North Carolina, Raleigh? So you're going to be, is it going to be by the Research Triangle? Is that where your target is?
Yeah, that's scheduled. Scheduled to have a store open there into early 2015, late 2014.
Okay.
And we have 3-4 sites we're looking at, or area we're identifying. We don't have to have a site. We're just identifying areas where we feel those are, the area we need to focus and get a good location. So definitely that's one of the 2014 plan, is to identify a specific location in Raleigh, North Carolina, open later this year or hopefully.
And how much space do you need, Ghazi?
We need 1,400 to 1,800 square feet. So we don't need bigger than that, which is give us about 36 seats to about 48, and that's exactly where we need to be because we can control our operating costs. If you go beyond 2,000, 3,000, the fixed costs will kill you. You just
Right.
And what's the breakdown, if you have it, between eat-in and carry-out?
We usually do about 75 to 80% eat-in.
Whoa. Really?
Like I'll give you an example. In Miami, we do 65, about 10-15% delivery and catering, and the rest are carry-out.
Right.
It depends on the weather. If it's raining in Miami, your carry-out percent will
Right.
increase.
Right.
So,
right.
they select somebody in the office, come in and pick up their meal. They're not going to go out. But basically, rule of thumb between, that's what I said, 10 to 15% delivery and catering, carry out, and 20, and the rest are eat-in. That's why it's very critical we replace the hood, as I said, and to give the customer a great atmosphere when they come in. Store looks great, it's clean, it's fresh, as well as and there's no smell of grilling proteins in the restaurant at all. It's very comfortable.
Well, Ghazi, that's a fascinating stat that you just gave Charles. I would think that you're almost the opposite of like your big fast food giants who probably do more takeout, right?
Yes.
More drive-through.
Yeah.
drive-thru,
Yeah. Exactly. Wow. I think that's phenomenal. That's you've hit it on there. And now your Cincinnati location, whenever that's going to be coming online, is it going to be by the river downtown?
Yes, we're looking at 3-4 locations all downtown. We
Perfect.
feel downtown where folks they work whatever, we can cater for lunch, and eventually as we grow in the future, we go in the suburbs because they already know of you, already tasted your food, and of course they live in the suburbs. So our focus is start opening downtown, and then future development will be in the suburbs. That's really what we have on at least. Initially, that's what we're thinking.
And what's intriguing is that you're looking at areas where there's young money.
Exactly. Where, economy is healthy, people are working, and they're going out to lunch and spending, between $7.50 to $10 lunch.
Right.
So that's really where we think our concept will fit. And everybody, as you well aware, into the health, watching their calories, working out, all that stuff, and we'll fit right into that category. We'll be able to manage their protein and give them whatever they need if they're working out or on a certain diet or special diet, a protein intake and all that good stuff. So,
Yeah, I
Up
mean,
here in Boston, you'd need a liquor license to draw people in.
oh, Charles, come on.
Are you
Trust
kidding?
me, trust me,
With
it's-
the exception of Manhattan, I can't think of any place that has more 3 martini lunches
Oh, man.
or beer with lunch.
Oh,
Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
guess
it has been discussed, but we're too concerned.
Well, and it's very expensive too.
No,
I mean,
we,
it's not as easy
we're.
to get as just putting in the food.
yeah.
Well, I mean, look at Chipotle, Moe's, all the concept. They do have, a beer on the
Right.
cooler.
Well, beer and wine is a lot easier to get.
Yeah,
than full
and
liquor license.
you go to a typical location, very, very few people are consuming that stuff, at
Yeah.
least for lunch.
Yeah.
Dinner a little bit different. So definitely, we look at the competition, what they're doing, is it something we can, we want to duplicate, what's the legality. I mean, there's a lot of things we're looking at. So that's going to fit in our 2014. So everything on the board, we have a very, very good pulse on what's out there on the food segment. We have besides a bunch of people working with me on research and keeping us updated what's out there. Definitely, something we always we have a library of what we want to do. We have like 30, 40 recipe we can roll out at any time. We have a couple of things up our sleeve. If we decide that's what we want to do, we'll do.
Yeah.
So it's ongoing, research, ongoing.
What do you think, Ghazi, about Chipotle's move to try and get into the pizza market?
It's interesting. Interesting what they're doing. I mean, basically everybody tried it. McDonald's tried it, as you are aware. In Canada, they failed miserably. Donatos, they bought. I don't know if anybody from Columbus, Ohio, they did Donatos, and they grow it up to 100, 150, and they fell flat on their face. I mean, it's not their core business.
Right. It's kind of the typical moving away from your core competency, and
big mistake.
Probably 95% of those fail.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, with the exception of a special. Like, I'm not a big McDonald's person, but they run those ads when they bring back their what is it, like a McRib or something, and they bring it back for 3 weeks or 4 weeks a year. But it's not something that they're not trying to. Well, down in Florida, they're not trying to compete with Shorties, for example, or I mean, they're just not. But this is it's kind of a strange thing. It's one of those things that always raises my eyebrows when somebody who is very successful in one area just automatically thinks that they can do it. They can just switch around the ingredients and commit there. The only people that I've seen who have fairly consistently moved into other areas, they're somewhat related, but not the same as the core competency, is Starbucks. I mean, Starbucks bought that
juice company.
They bought the bakery company, and they bought Tivana. I mean, those things are somewhat the same.
But they were purchasing other
I don't
companies,
expect to see them doing Italian food.
No, but I mean, they were buying other companies that just taking that product. Yeah, no, I could see that. Ghazi,
but that's a supply issue. That's not a change in your core competency of making burritos.
Exactly.
Right.
Ghazi, what's your website?
Plus, on the flip side, you're trying, you go to Chipotle, the line is 20 people deep, 20, 25 people deep in lunch. So you're adding people to come in and eat pizza. You're moving away from really what made you successful. So I'm just interested to see how it's going to pan out at the end of the day. I know they're a great company, they're creative, but we'll see how we'll see how it's going to roll out in the near future, I guess. They're planning on opening a bunch of stores in Denver, but we'll see. We'll monitor closely.
Well, great, Ghazi. Thanks for coming on again and giving us an update, and we'll certainly have you back to discuss, the business plan going forward when that gets released to the public.
Great. Thank you. Really appreciate your time.
You bet, Ghazi. Ghazi,
have a great week.
What's your website, Ghazi, in case folks want to take a look at it?
www.GRILLitinc.com.
Okay, good stuff.
And the symbol for the stock is GRLT.
All right, guys. Hey,
thanks again, Ghazi.
Charles, have a good week. Ghazi,
you too.
You have a really good, and we'll be waiting to hear that news in February. Okay.
Looking forward to sharing with you, gentlemen. Thank you. Have a great week.
All right, Charles Moskowitz, Mike King, PrincetonResearch.com. Go to the website, revamped, and very, very special. Don't forget Charles's conference call tomorrow. Have a good day. Have a good week, everyone. We'll see you next Tuesday. This is WPSL, Port St. Lucie.